No, no, no. But the simplicity of worshipping he speaks in that Patram Pushpam Phalam Thoyam. Which anybody would like to say what is the most important element in that verse that at length?
Bhakti.
Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Before speaking, we follow some etiquette. So please raise your hands. Okay, Aman Kumar.
Bhakti Upahritam
What are the words? I just need the key words.
Ashnami Pratatmanam.
Keywords. What are the 3 keywords that we discussed yesterday? So can anybody say that? Okay. Dheeraj, Vibhutepu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Love and devotion.
Yeah, but I am asking more specifically from the verse. What is that? What is that Krishna is telling? I got it. Love and devotion is there. Any doubts for anybody? How does he is expressing in that verse? Yeah, Devi Prasad. Prabhu.
First is Bhaktya Upahritam. That's Bhaktya. Then first Bhaktya, then Bhakti Upahritam. Then
You said both only Bhakti Upuratam.
first
So see
is
the verse if you all are having doubt. See the verse, what it is talking. Yesterday we really spoke. I don't know where. So
yes.
we spent a good amount of time upon it. I said
First,
three words are very much important there. Ashnami he just enjoys or he eats. That is his this thing. So I don't know if what is that? 1 minute. Darshan Bendra Prabhu, why this admit is again and again coming? Can you please do the needful accordingly?
Yeah, Guruji. I'm looking into that.
Actually, it doesn't happen any day to me, but now it is like every time it pops up.
Yeah, I spoke with Shantanu Prabhu. I did the setting, but I don't know what exactly is the issue here.
Yeah. Mandar.
Prabhuji, 3.
Yeah.
First is Bhakti, Bhaktya, Bhakti Upaharitam, and Pretatma.
Prayata. Yeah, this is what it is. Precise. So what are these three words where the emphasis is? One meaning, bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. Why? Because the emphasis is there because sometimes something important element has to be told. That's why bhakti element is told. Very good. And other meanings I said. Can anybody tell what is that other meanings I told? Yeah, Mandar Prabhu, would you like to continue? What I spoke? Bhakti, bhaktya, bhakti upahritam, and preta. What is that?
So it should be firstly offered by a devotee, and that offering should be loving offering, and that should be also with pure consciousness. Means in cleanliness you mentioned there. One should have that cleanliness aspect.
Yeah. So which is relating to which?
It should be offered. Means now devotee is offering, he may be chanting 16 rounds everything.
No, that is details. Which is relating to what? Here my question. Which is relating to what? I'm not asking the details. So you said okay with love.
So it should be offered by a devotee.
That is referring to which word?
That is Bhaktya. First Bhaktya.
Is it?
Yes, sir. Yo me Bhaktya. Yes,
okay.
Prabhuji.
See, Bhaktya is first one has to be connected to devotional process. I said to be connected to Sampradaya. Not that suddenly somebody says that today I offer with Bhakti. Tomorrow you don't. It's not there. Somebody is a practitioner of path of Bhakti. That is the meaning. Bhakti. Then he as a devotee, he offers it with Bhaktya Upahritam, with devotion. Okay, you are practitioner, very good. But do you offer with devotion? That is another thing. What is your standard? Purity in your, okay, you're offering with devotion. Then there should be purity in one's thought process. There should be purity in one's consciousness. External, internal, both. Externally, he should be taking bath. Externally, he should be getting himself very clean, punctuality, all that standards of deities which I spoke. So that is Ashnami. That refers to Pretatpana. Prabhupada writes like from one in pure consciousness, both internal and external. That is referring to. So please remember this word, these three these are keywords. That's why when please pay a little attention for which word is been related to what. First, Bhakti is relating to that one is a practitioner of the path of Bhakti. Second, Bhakti Uparitam. Yes, not only practitioner, he offers with devotion. There may be people with wonderful practitioners of Bhakti and nicely chanting, but when it comes to offering, when it comes to doing something, may not put. And it applies for a larger scale for other services also, you can apply, no doubt about it. But here, I'm just telling, don't stick to, okay, only when offering I have to do with love and devotion. Other services I can do without love. That is not the meaning. Meaning is much more deeper, but that is given an understanding. That is the point. And according to the standards, if it is related to deity worship, yes, that standard is expected about punctuality, cleanliness, and apart from that, one's consciousness, with purity in heart, purity in mind, both body, mind, and words, what he's saying. So that is there. So that's what we spoke about. So that was that. Sorry, because I'm repeating that verse because it's a very important verse, and one has to understand the meaning of it. Then, okay, Krishna went through further. Anything that you offer, that is was there. And 29, okay, the benefit. At what happened? You get a vimukto mam upashyasi, he says. Then that we saw yesterday. That the phala is, he will reach me. Now, verses from 29. Krishna says, now the next verse, which, okay, before I share the verse. Able to see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Now we are last section where Krishna is. Here you see the glories of bhakti will be seen at different level. Glory of pure bhakti will be seen here. It is continuing. It is directly pure bhakti and its glories. How it elevates person. You'll see it. But now the question is, as we have gone till now, question is like. Now, someone say, okay, you said previous was the 28th verse, is right? They get a Vishesha Mukti. Mukti means they get liberated and they come to you. So you will liberate the devotees. That's what is understand. So bring them to you. But you will not do this with non-devotees, right? Then the Supreme Lord is not showing what you call prejudice? Are you not partial? You are not supposed to be partial, right? You're not supposed to be partial, right? So you because those who are coming to you and then you give them liberation, you bring them to you, and those who are not devotees, you don't bring them to you. So that shows that you has a what do you call judgmental mentality, or you are showing prejudice. You are partiality. So immediately Krishna what do you call says this verse. The internal dialogue, then understanding this. Krishna says, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dvesho stina priya. Ye bhajante tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyam. Krishna says immediately this verse. So what is the meaning? Let's see.
Translation: I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend. He is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
Friend to him. Yeah. Krishna says here, see. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. No, 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 no. I am not at all partial. I don't show any partiality. Namedveshus. I don't have any hatred towards anybody. I don't have any, I do not hate the non-devotees. Krishna is saying that. It's not that then somebody is so dear to me. See, almost like contrary things. Nobody is this thing, nobody's, I'm equal to all. That's what he says. So is it then? But the word here, most crucial word, you will be amazed to see. The crucial word is tu. Tu. But, you see, Krishna also uses the word but. He says, but. Ye bhajante tumam bhaktya. Mahite tashushapya. Yes, although I am, what do you call, impartial, but still I have, what do you call, special inclination towards my devotees. His inclination towards his devotees, although he is equal for all the living entities, is a special feature of the Lord, and nobody can deny it. Prabhupada gives a beautiful analogy in his purport that we'll try to see. So Krishna is saying that I am samaham sarvabhuteshu name dveshos, and I do not hate anybody, I do not like, but at the same time, but Tu is the word which is most important. But one who is doing bhajan of me, one who is liking me, one who is worshipping me, one who is looking for me. Why not? Huh? Why not? So that you'll see in Prabhupada's purport. Okay, please read it.
One may question here that if Krishna is and no one is his special friend, then why does he take a special interest in the devotees who are always engaged in his transcendental service? But this is not discrimination, it is natural. Any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has a special interest in his own children. The
See?
Lord,
See? Is it clear? Now, will you call that person charitable? No. He's partial towards his children. We never say that. Oh, he does not discriminate at his home. If some poor is coming, some rich is coming, he will not see whether male is coming, whether female is coming. He just gives charity. We say him, he is such a charitable person. But naturally, right, he has his children, so he has a special affection for his children. It's naturally. It's very, Prabhupada gives a fitting this thing. Similarly, Krishna is saying, you see, how Krishna is impartial because the facility is, what do you call, uh, he is impartially partial actually. That is the meaning. I don't know how many you will get it. Impartially partial. But means what? What does it mean impartially partial? He is impartial in terms of, what do you call, opening the doors. Has he stopped anybody from coming to bhakti and taking advantage of his partiality? Has he stopped anybody? Because partiality towards his devotee is his nature. It is not his fault. It is an ornament of the Prabhupada will say more about it. It's an ornament, it's impartially partial. But the doors for bhakti, he has opened for everybody. So you can come to bhakti and take advantage of that partiality which the Lord shows towards his devotees. That is his quality. So who has stopped for that? For that, he has not. So that's why he is impartially partial. So impartial at the level of anybody can come to him. After that, he has nature of that partiality, and which is very natural for him. Why? He's also conscious being, right? He's not a stone. Now, stone can be very what do you call? Whether or what do you call? So some cruel person steps upon it, or whether nice person. Yeah, stone is stone. It's not an. You can say it is also then Prabhu. It is also impartial. No. But Krishna is conscious being also, right? He has also tastes, right? But overall, his what do you call? He's impartial for once. Whether he has stopped anybody from accessing from Krishna consciousness, no one, no one. So that is the beauty of the Lord. Okay, go ahead.
the Lord claims that every living entity, in whatever form, is his son, and so he provides everyone with a generous supply of the necessities of life.
You
He's
see,
just like
when it comes to general necessities of the life, you see, even an atheist get his needs. Even whether he, that's why Prabhupada used to say that, do not pray, oh, give me my daily bread to the Lord. That is the lowest kind of prayer in one sense. Why? The animals do not pray, but still they get. Other living beings are not even praying, but they are getting it. And you as human beings, again, you pray for that which is already awarded to you, whether you worship him or not. No, the higher, and that's why that higher prayer should be there for loving him, serving him. Savaya pumsam parod. Yato bhakti radokshase. Ahaitiki apratiyata yayatma suprasthiti. The highest form, the highest dharma is what? That which is, what you call, serve without any other intention, uninterrupted. Devotion to the Lord. Because the Lord is supplying anyway, without your demand also He is supplying. Without even asking in our childhood when we are born, without our demand, Lord is already supplied our basic necessities, irrespective of which species you are born, irrespective of anything you are born. Where is this? So that's how it is. And all the facilities for one's uplifting of one consciousness, that is also given. So that is a beauty. See, okay.
he is just like a cloud which pours rain all over. regardless of whether it falls on rock or land or water. But for his devotees, he gives special attention.
Specific attention. You see,
Specific.
that is his quality. That is his quality. And you will find in scriptures that he shows his special quality. And that is ornament of the law. Now you see, see here Prabhupada beautifully glorifies the relationship between the Lord and the devotee. That special attention that he gives. Okay.
This transcendental reciprocation exists because both the Lord and the devotee are conscious.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. They are both conscious. He's supremely conscious. We may be minutely conscious, but he reciprocates. Okay. Because even in the example Prabhupada gave, the man is conscious, his son is conscious, and he's charitable towards other beings, but still he has a special relation because son is son, who's identifying his father's value. Okay.
When a diamond is set in a golden ring, it looks very nice. The gold is glorified, and at the same time, the diamond is glorified. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter, and when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, he looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. Living entities in a pure state are called devotees. Becomes the devotees of his devotees. If
See, this is a beautiful line, Prabhupada says. Okay.
If a reciprocal relationship is not present between the devotee and the Lord, then there is no personalist philosophy.
Yeah, there is no personalist philosophy. You see. So when you see the Lord, Supreme Lord, becomes the devotee of his devotees, this is coming from 10th canto when Krishna goes to this Bahulashva and Shrutadev. There, when he's meeting both of them, Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. That is the line in the verse which is used. Sukadeva Goswami says, Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman. The Lord has bhakti for his devotees in reciprocation. He becomes a devotee of his devotees. So that is a mood. And this Krishna also reciprocates back with the devotees, what you call love and affection. That's why Prabhupada is saying that if it's not present between them, then where will be the what you call personalist philosophy? That is beauty. One more analogy Prabhupada gives. Yeah.
The example is often given that the Lord is like a desire tree, and whatever one wants from this desire tree, the Lord supplies. But here the explanation is more complete. The Lord is here stated to be partial to the devotees. This is the manifestation of Lord's special mercy to the devotees.
Yeah, this is a manifestation of special mercy. Nobody can say no for it. So now, next. Now, okay, when the Lord says this, so I am, he makes it very clear. So, see, now, next two verses coming is most crucial. You see. So he has already spoke that. Now he continues with the theme that I have special attraction for my devotees, special attention to my devotees. The the quality by pure bhakti is my very nature. I cannot give it up. That is his. Now the further verse which is going to come, I'm just saying how it is connected. The Krishna is, he said na just now, but I have a special attention to my devotees. And to that extent, he says now in this verse, you will be amazed to see this verse and next verse. Even sometimes my devotees does something abominable, still he has to be considered a sadhu. My God. We always heard that anybody who's doing little bit, what do you call, abominable, like he's a asadhu. Whereas Krishna, you see what Krishna is saying. Here is the context. Because Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu, after that, he's saying that I have a special attention. For that, he's giving specific, saying that, you see, I'm so much purchased my devotee. Even sometimes he does his, what you call, something abominable. Still has to be considered. How? Let's see that. How does he consider it? Because that doesn't fit in our logic. We always heard that one should not do abominable activities in bhakti, and somebody does and you accept him. But what is that condition, and what is that he's saying that? And that is showing, the point is not to show that you do abominable activity. The point is to show how glorious the gates of bhakti are, how glorious the mercy of the Lord is. And one should not take undue advantage of it. Otherwise, it will go into the offense of seventh offense of committing offenses on the strength of the holy name. But the Lord is showing the mercy factor. See, that's how it is. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadhurev samantavyah samyak vyavashito hi saha. Yeah. Can I request? Yeah. Parthasarthi Prabhuji, can you read? Arjun Sarthi Prabhu.
But
I said Arjun Parthasarthi. I'm sorry.
even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
See, this verse, it becomes debatable among many times among devotees. See, suduracharo, durachar is very sudurachar. See what is proper, right? One committed the most abominable action, not some small some sinful act. No, most abominable. Bhajate ma ananya bhak. This goes contrary. He is doing ananya bhak means ananya bhakti also. At the same time, he is doing some sudurachar. Hey, we never heard of that. And he's saying the next third line is very dangerous. Sadhu Reva. You should, Eva is what? Certainly you should consider him sadhu only. And on top of that, he gives this mantavya, has to be considered only. So strong actually the Lord is writing. This word is sufficient enough. He has to be considered sadhu. This Eva word. He has to be considered sadhu, he says. Oh, he has to be considered sadhu and has to be considered only. That means he's emphasizing it. ये मत सोचो कि he is a sadhu and he has to be considered. Otherwise, it's like we are not following the order of the Lord. Means like, नहीं आप जो बोल रहे हो ठीक है, मैं नहीं कर सकता ऐसा. No, but Lord is saying, अरे he is sadhu only. Why? Samyak vyavasito hi. Sorry. Samyak vyavasito hi saha. He says that. Why? Because he is fixed in his determination to practice Krishna consciousness. That means the Acharya says, as I said, the Lord is so possessive. He says that if, first of all, this is an intention, it's not an, it's an incidental fall, not an intentional fall. This point has to be very clear to all of us. This is an Lord is referring to an incidental, accidental fall, not a premeditated, not an intentional, not a planned accident. It's an incident, not an intentional fall. Why? The reason for that is because he immediately fixes himself. Because later after that also, he curses himself so bad. He's again practicing Krishna consciousness with such determination because his faith has not diverted from Krishna. His faith has not diverted from Krishna. It's not possible for him to divert his Krishna, but he regrets so bad that he feels bad that I have brought, let me go to hell. I have brought such a defame to my guru, defame to the society of Vaishnavas. I'm not fitting candidate for this. So he himself comes to such a regretful, his heart goes to such a regretful this thing. He feels about him so bad that Krishna says that in next verse he will say that he becomes a dharmatma. He says, quickly I will make him dharmatma. Because why? He has not left Krishna. He has continued to practice Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada will say in his purport also that one who is taking to the path of Krishna consciousness itself is actually, he is raging a war against Maya. We see that even somebody is fighting in a battle. It is quite sure that many times we find that even then, you see, anyway, soldiers will get bullets, surely. But sometimes we find even the generals die. Even they also are shot bullets. Even the the leaders, those who are fighting in the war, even they are. So here, two things are been shown in the purport. We'll find that how difficult Maya is. Sometimes, usually it's not the case. Usually an Ananya Bhakta, not. He cannot think of doing it. He cannot think of. It doesn't happen only. But there is probability of happening. But even if it happens, why he has to be considered sadhu and sadhu only? He has to be considered, Krishna is saying it is his order. The reason for that is because he's fixed in his devotion. And his fixity, why? Because the kind of repentance that he has. Sometimes somebody may take advantage of this verse and say that, you see, somebody does abominable activity and somebody says, you see, Krishna is saying that has to be considered sadhu and you guys, oh, it is funny. He should not speak it. He should not speak it. In fact, one should open it in front of one's guru and express it in this thing. Now somebody may question, so Prabhu, yeah, how has to, it becomes very difficult, indigestible in the society of Vaishnavas when such kind of some abominable activities has been done by somebody mostly reputed, nicely known and all those things. True, true. Nobody is saying no action has to be taken. That's not the point. That's not the point. Appropriate action has to be taken by the right kind of authorities. These cases has to be taken, elevated to senior most Vaishnavas who sees the fall from so many angles, sees their background, sees their everything, and takes a mature decision in such a way. So the idea, somebody might have done something very abominable. The society of devotees has been disturbed. Okay, okay. Give such a appropriate punishment in such a way so that that service is removed. Let us say the service has what you call some other stricter action has been taken on certain aspects that has to be taken care this thing so that the other devotees do not and they do not take that okay because he was senior so or he was so and so he's not been no appropriate kind of what you call action has to be taken in order to deal with the situation so that there is not much disturbance in the society of devotees surely, but at the same time nobody should be barred completely from practice of Krishna consciousness. That is most important element. There should be natural compassion in the devotees, thinking that anyway outside people for them fall down is not a big thing at all. And somebody has taken to the practice of Krishna consciousness. And surely while battling with Maya, multiple reasons of fall. Because of, although he might be wonderfully practicing Krishna consciousness, everything is going on well, but suddenly because of some wrong association, because of some wrong thing, suddenly the samskaras have reappeared and that happened to give him. That was not the intention. That he is not has planned it, but it has come. It has come and he has taken, but see the repentance of that person. So usually these kind of cases are taken to very senior personalities and the judgment accordingly has to be given with the consultation with guru and this thing so that the things can be appropriate. But one thing always one should remember in the society of Vishnu, we should not reject that person in such a way or ridicule or say we knew and somebody we knew this guy is previously we knew that I was telling only this was going to happen only on all this so that he feels so much disgusted, he feels so much disheartened that better I leave this association. There should be Vaishnavas are naturally compassionate. So the other side of our appropriate action has to be taken. At the same time, what you call, there is a side of compassion. How to make sure that he continues. That has to be seen both. Otherwise, then what else we are doing? Otherwise, Lord's word is saying sadhureva samante. We see the background of the whole devotee. So that's why I say this is accidental, incidental, not intentional. So let's see the Prabhupada's purport, how beautifully Prabhupada speaks about this. So this verse has to be understood in that context. Why? Because simple line, Samyak Vyavasito hi saha, because he is fixed in his determination to worship Krishna only. Before we go into the purport, I'll just cover the next verse so that you get the complete theme of it. Actually, I'll just so the Krishna. Why? Krishna says why? Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanahi name bhakta pranashyati. He says, see, Prabhu, kindly, you continue to read.
Yeah. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. A son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
Why Krishna is saying like that? Because you see, Shipram, very quickly he becomes Dharmatma. Means very quickly, although he has done such thing, because of the repentance, and Krishna is saying, I am sitting in the heart. So I'll make sure I'll clean him. I'll clean him and thoroughly bring him back to the this thing. And that's why he will get Shashvat Shanti Nigachiti. So, and then Krishna is saying Arjuna, because Arjuna may question as an internal dialogue, Are, but there are so many smartas in karma kandas or in other places when somebody does anything abominable. So much we know that so much punishment or atonement is there that you have to do. So they may say, others may say, Are, kya baat hai? You are not even giving any punishment to him, anything. You are telling him to again do bhakti nicely and all those things and this thing. So somebody may get that. Krishna is saying, see, go to that place and that my devotee will never perish because he has taken to the path of Krishna consciousness. Tell this loudly, Arjuna. That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Why? Why he says like that? All of us know that he says because people may doubt even. Oh, Krishna said this. Oh, he's known. Sometimes he can break his promise or his words also. But Arjuna, when you speak, because all of you has that this thing, my devotee will not break his. So your words carry weight. So you speak this thing. That's how the Lord goes. So that's how the Lord is actually in little anger. The Acharya is a little anger. He tells Arjuna, you are telling the smartas. You say, tell this guys. Why? Because the main reason for you see in other paths when there is a fall or when there is so many atonements. But in bhakti, the atonement is bhakti only. Intense practice of. That's why when we go to Guru may tell, now you don't do this service. Or you chant more number of rounds. You engage in so and so services so that your purification. That's why our purification in bhakti is not some other things. Purification in bhakti is again intense practice of bhakti. So that is a beauty. That is a beauty. So now we'll see the purports of previously. Now just pay attention to the purports. They themselves are very self-explanatory. Prabhupada gives very beautiful explanation. Just pay attention, then you will catch this verse. And at the same time, we don't misutilize or misunderstand this verse. Okay, so see here the word first line I'll just read. The word sudurachara used in this verse is very significant and should be understood it properly. Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, Prabhu, please continue to read.
As far as possible, a devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome condition. He knows that perfection depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, however, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some act which may be taken as most abominable socially or politically. But such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that if a person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, being situated within his heart, purifies him and excuses him from that abomination. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. But Krishna consciousness is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified.
We know that from the story of even what you call Vishwamitra Muni. He performed one thing, again he fell down. It took again so much time for him to again come back. Sometimes Menaka came, sometimes Ramba came. So one aspects of his, it took time for him again. Whereas you see here, the only process for the devotees is so strong that okay, it at once rectified because we have the greatest mercy of the Lord. Yeah, please continue.
Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For, as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall down will be stopped in due course as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So this is not referring to that somebody keep on doing activity and saying that okay, this is our supply. Again, keep on doing it. No. This is not applying for that. Once in a while, if ideally one doesn't happen only. That's what our Acharya says. Ideally, it doesn't happen, but sometimes it's possible. because the snare of Maya is very strong. The Maya is very strong, and one happened to fall in her snare. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes.
should be considered to be in the transcendental position, even if by chance or accident he is found to have fallen. The words Sadhur Eva,
Sadhu.
he is saintly are very emphatic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly even if he has accidentally fallen down.
See, if that the Lord is indicating, Prabhupada is saying, if that is indicating to non-devotee, saying that, अरे, आप इसको वो मत समझो, then how much as a society we should be careful, not what you call deriding the devotees. Nobody is saying, nobody, please understand it. Nobody is saying not no appropriate action has to be taken. Appropriate action has to be taken in the consultation, but not at the cost of to put him in such a situation that he cannot further practice, or his heart we punch him down or put him down in such a way that he never can, doesn't want to show his face to devotees, doesn't want to come at all. Such kind of behavior should not be done. Yeah, appropriate action has to be surely taken, no doubt.
And the word mantavya is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and derides a devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is
See,
disobeying.
this is what I was saying. Then one is disobeying the orders of the Lord. Means if sometime we come to know about a fall of a devotee and all. So our discussion, sometimes our discussion keeps on going. देखो ये हुआ, वो हुआ, यही तो होना था. ये तो पता ही था हमको पहले से. और अरे, do not relish in that. Rather than understand the whole story, if at all you want to are interested. Otherwise, just pray for him. Best thing that we can do is we pray for the devotee. So, and even if you have to understand, then understand the whole thing, because there may be so many fine understandings in that. Somebody may bring that message half cooked, somebody may heard it partially, somebody has not understood it properly, because neither we have spoken to that devotee. Sometimes the time the message or the actual thing what has happened at the same time, it reaches the 100th person, the message is actually completely twisted and torn, and it goes in such a state that the person who's on the 100th person who's hearing that news, he may hear much more masala has been added into that, much more this has been added, and then that's how we start seeing that devotee. So one has to be very careful in this, because in turn we are disobeying the order of the Lord. At the same time, we are committing offense actually. So one has to be very careful when these kind of, better to, or if you cannot do anything, just pray for that Vaishnava, so that whatever has happened, so that his further Krishna consciousness goes well. And this thing, and let's not show in our behavior while he comes in front of us, or while we are dealing with them. So, and these things are very, because Vaishnavas are special living entities. One has to understand. We are not dealing with these ordinary living entities. Krishna is telling that, my heart is so much towards my devotee that I cannot leave him. Is sometimes he falls, I will leave him. Do you think I am such a master that just because he shows little Sudurachara? No, I will purify him again, reinstate him. Such is our master. So much mercy, so much compassion, so much. Should we follow the master's order or not? He's saying he's a sadhu. He's saying you have to accept it. Sadhu reva samanta. Okay. Please continue. The only qualification.
The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service.
Yeah. That is referring to that devotee also, because he does not leave Krishna. He understands and he feels repent so badly, and that what I have done, I just brought bad name to the society, bad name to the association. What will Vaishnava think? What will people think about our society? So he feels for it, But at the same time, there's from Narsimha Purana also, there is a beautiful line. Just read the translation, Prabhuji.
The meaning is that even if one fully engaged in devotional service of the Lord is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities, these activities should be considered to be like the spots that resemble the mark of a rabbit on the moon.
Yeah.
Such spots do not become an impediment to the diffusion of moonlight. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable.
Yeah, does not make him abominable. That one has to understand. Because of we don't find just because some marks are there on the moon, that moon that removes it, that the whole shine of the moon is gone in the night. We don't find that. Still there is shine continues. That means what? He is shiningly practicing Krishna consciousness. But yes, now this is very instructive for a very instructive. Please hear this carefully. Prabhupada is giving both. He's giving a warning, at the same time he's telling to understand the gravity of the message. Okay, yes, Prabhu.
On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service can act in abominable ways.
See? Yeah.
This verse only refers to an accident due to the strong power of material connections. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusory energy.
This is what I was saying. Yeah.
As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusory energy, there may be accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as
See?
previously explained.
Yeah. See, both lines has that. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusion, there may be accidents. But one is stronger. There is no longer subjected to such order. Not possible usually, unable. But quite possible because of the weakness sometimes. Yeah. And according to the circumstance. Okay. Now, it's a very beautiful line. Yeah.
No one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be understood that he is not a high devotee.
See, Prabhupada is expecting us. Prabhupada, all of us know that. Prabhupada said, who your men are? Prabhupada said, they are perfect gentlemen and gentle ladies. So that is referring to one's character. Not gentleness in terms of how he wears his suit, good boot. Similarly, in Vaishnavas, how does he wear his what you call dhoti, kurta, and all that is good, fine. But more is of referring to his character. That one has to understand. Yeah, I will continue with the same verses further. Okay, I did not highlight anything. Yeah, Prabhu, maybe, yeah, read it completely.
This should not be misunderstood. In the 7th chapter, the Lord says that one who is engaged in mischievous activities cannot become a devotee.
Yeah.
One who is not a devotee of the Lord has no good qualifications whatsoever. The question remains, then, how can a person engaged in abominable activities, either by accident or by intention, be a pure devotee? This question may justly be raised. The miscreants, as stated in the 7th chapter, who never come to the devotional service of the Lord, have no good qualifications, as is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kind of devotional activities is engaged in the process of cleansing all material contaminations from the heart. He puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all sinful contaminations are naturally washed away. Continuous thinking of the Supreme Lord makes him pure by nature. According to the Vedas, there is a certain regulation that if one falls down from his exalted position, he has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. But here there is no such condition because the purifying process is already there in the heart of the devotee. Devotee is remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly.
Yeah, because he has that repentance, at the same time, he doesn't want to leave the Lord. So both. He has that great repentance, and in that repentance, he remembers the Lord. So that is purifying. Yeah. Okay. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare should be continued without stoppage. Yes, Prabhu, completed.
This will protect a devotee from all accidental fall downs. He will thus remain perpetually free from all material contaminations.
Yeah, of course, that chanting should be referring to purer and pure chanting that we have to follow. Yeah. So now, next again, continuing the same theme. This is you find. Why that verse Apicheta Sudaracharo, that the devotee is saying that? Because next verse is saying about Arey, somebody is coming, somebody is in Papa Yonaya, means somebody is doing Papa, or the inclination, because some bodies or certain bodies are in such a way that that inclination towards true sin is very natural in that body. Arey, when I purify that only and make them also devotees, my devotee who's already a devotee practitioner, sometimes would I leave him? So that to give the strength to his previous statements. If you see, he goes by these verses again. You see, this verse you will find amazing. Mam hi parthavepashritya yepi su papayonayah striyo vaishyas tatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Okay. Uh, yeah, Abhishek Prabhu.
Translation. O son of Prutha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination.
Yeah, the gist of this verse is Mam hi Partha Vipashrita. Okay, one who takes shelter of me, O Partha, they may be from Yepisu Papa Yonaya. He says this. They may be from Papa Yoni. Huh? They may be from Papa Yoni. Means, see, this is not referring to Striyas, Vaidyas, Tatha Shudras. Many times we take this word, this Papa Yoni is, Sri is a Papa Yoni, Vaishya is a, no. This Papa Yoni is Papa Yoni only. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, what you find that that the yonis are it themselves are Papa. I mean, they themselves has a strong inclination to do, and they are actually out of Varnashrama system also. Antejas, they are called. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, and then below that the category is Antejas. That is Papa Yonaya. That all that races out of this. That is called as Papa Yoni. Here Krishna is saying that, Are Baba, even somebody from a Papa Yoni, from that category also take shelter. They can get Param Gatim. What to speak of Striyo, Vaishyas, Tata Shudras, who also have some faults. That is the meaning. Who also has some faults. Why? Woman has a fault of impurity. Is now again it's a relative here impurity in this what do you call impurity or bodily consciousness also in women we find little more when compared to men. You see, simple example, when man and woman is told to get ready for some function or this thing, man gets ready quickly, woman she takes time. Am I looking good? Am I looking good? This side is good. This is good. All that things is so bodily conscious in general in a woman is more than when compared to men. So that is referring to some fault, not as Papa Yoni. Otherwise, you will say, then what about Vaishnava Mata? Oh, Vaishnava Matajis, they come in different category only. In that level. Then Vaishyas have a tendency of lying. That is a fault. That is a dosha in Shudras. They are more inclined towards sense gratification. So that these are the faults in them. These are the faults. So Krishna is speaking in that sense. When somebody takes shelter even from Papa Yoni, I liberate them. What to speak of Striyas, Vaishyas, Tatha Shudras? And then next verse on 33rd. Then what you speak about, those are pure Brahmanas, those are pure Kshatriyas, those are Rajarishis. That is the meaning. Hope all of you are getting these verses. So that's how he's taking into different grades. He's opening the doors of bhakti to such open level that first is what do you call? I'll just complete that later. But this is what this verse is speaking about. Don't think that the Shriya Saida Vedas they are Papa Yonya. No, that you'll see in the purport. Please.
Purport. It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service there is no distinction between the lower and higher classes of people. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions, but for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18, it is stated that even the lowest, who are chandalas, dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and higher classes of men. anyone can take to it. The most simple man taking shelter of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance.
So that's how the verse goes. So, okay, those lower than them are called as Chandalas. You see, this is what I was saying. Those are so Kshatriyas, surely Shudras, Vaishyas do not come into the lower families. These are the Papa Yonis. You see, here Prabhupada writes, those lower than them, means the Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, are called as Chandalas, or many other names are there, and they are born in sinful families. Because usually the tendency to commit sinful acts or sinful is very naturally there. Even generally, the association of those born in sinful life is not accepted by the higher class. But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of all the lower classes to take to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes to shelter of Krishna, as indicated here, the word Vipashrita, one who takes. Then what to speak of Sriya Vaishya and Tatha Shudras? And then what to speak of this? Then you see, immediate word is there. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajashaya tatha anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswamam. Okay, Prabhu, you continue.
Translation: how much more this is so of the righteous, sorry, how much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary, miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
So that's what he's saying. That how much more Kim Punar? If that is that much shelter, if somebody of that Papa Yonya takes shelter, somebody if what to speak of Striya Vaishya Sudra, and what to speak of somebody is of Brahmana and other. So they will to surely get my shelter. Why not? And what to speak of my devotees who are completely in shelter of me? And if he has done some small abominable, do you think I will reject him? Those are already in Papa Yoni, I am accepting him, purifying him. And my devotee who's already a practitioner sometimes happen to fall. Do you think I will reject him? You see, that is the intensity of the Lord when he's speaking from that. It starts from Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I am equal to it, but I have a special inclination towards my devotee. Please see the flow of the verses. I have a special inclination. What is the special inclination? Even my devotee, somebody has some abominable, still he is glorious. He has to be considered a sadhu. He has to be accepted. It is my mata. It is my mantavya. Accepted. Why? Because Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma. He will become Dharmatma quickly. Are, what to speak of that? The Papa Yonaya, them I liberate, those are taking shelter. Will I not give to me? And what to speak of Brahmanas, pure devotees, and Raja Rishis, all that. That's how the words, the intention of the Lord is. And one who's practicing in this world of Anityam, Asukham, Lokam, too, same. It is as good as saying that famous line of the verse. What is Anityam, Asukham, Lokam is? Uh, okay. Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Anityam refers to Ashashvatam, and Dukkhalayam is nothing but Asukham Lok. That's the same thing the Lord is saying. Okay, please read the purport. You will get it.
Purport: in this material world, there are classifications of people, but after all, this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here, Anityam Asukham Lokam. This world is temporary and full of miseries, not habitable for any sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. Some philosophers, especially Mayavadi philosophers, say that this world is false, but we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that the world is not false, it is temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. This world is temporary, but there is another world which is eternal. This world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful.
Yeah, so it is very clear. Arjuna is born in a royal family. To him, the Lord says, yeah, take to my devotion service and come back. Come quickly back home. Yeah. So this is what it is. Then what to speak of that? Then last, the Lord, more or less, it's like a conclusion. That what is desirable then? What is that desirable is? Desirable is this. What is man mana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashyasi yukta evam atmanam matparayana. A beautiful verse. May I request Yeah.
Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
See, and this verse gets repeated again, I think in 1865, except for the last two verses. So the pure devotional verse, and this whole theme of verses is glorifying bhakti and how it is even merciful to the durachar, even papa yonaya, in all this, and that's why the glorification section is there. 29 to this 34, that whole glorification section is there. And last, he's concluding with such amazing verse, man mana bhava mad bhakto. You see, always remember me in your mind, chant my the holy name, chant me, remember me. Man mana bhava mat bhakto. And okay, because man mana bhava, but somebody may say, what do you call? But the demons also were always remembering Krishna. Our Shishupal was remembering Krishna. Our Kamsa was also remembering Krishna. Man mana. So in their man mana bhava also they are no, that immediately what? But is that the qualification? No, no. Mat bhakto, become a devotee, or because they are not devotees. They may be remembering Krishna, but they are not devotees. That's why. Man mana bhava, mad bhakto, become my devotee. And that is also important. Just remembering Krishna, but at the same time, attitude matters. With what intention one is remembering. All those demons, they remembered Krishna out of fear, out of hatred, out of envy, not out of love. So man mana devotee, but with bhakta. Again, then what does he do? So that is referring to that. Then madhyaji mam namaskuru. So okay, he remembers, he becomes a devotee, and devotee is an action. Madhyaji, he worships in mam namaskuru. The body is even utilized. Paying obeisances means you are what? Using the word, body, word, and mind in the service of the Lord. What is actually what we do? What we do by paying obeisances? Our physical body is put Ashtanga Pranam for Prabhuji's, Panchanga for Mataji's. In that, different limbs of the body are put into action in the service of the Lord. At the same time, with the words, we what do you call? Chant the prayers of the pranati mantras, the prayers to the Lord. And at that time, actually, one should put with his mind at the lotus feet of the Lord. When you are going at Prabhupada, we should put our mind, when we are paying obeisances, it should be, yes, physically you are bending in front of him. That looks very good. But other two are very, you may be chanting prayers. That the subtlest thing there is with the mind. What do you do at that time with your mind? At that time, the mind should be at the lotus feet of Prabhupada. And when we are paying obeisances to the deities, at that time, the mind should be at the lotus feet of, when we are chanting Pranati mantra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it should be at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we are chanting the mantra, that the mind should be at the lotus feet of what you call Nityanand Prabhu. Mind should, when you are chanting Pranati mantra of Radha Krishna, the mind should be at that. That is how we put. That is how we put. That is how and all of us know, paying obeisances is one of the limbs of bhakti. Such a big value has been given to paying obeisances. Obeisance is not an ordinary thing. Paying obeisances is given such value. So that is, it is one of the limb of bhakti. So it carries weight, physical bending of the body, chanting. One has to chant the prayers from his mouth very clearly. At least he should hear it. Others hear or not, he should hear it. At the same time, the mind should be at that time put at the lotus. You see, you will love to pay obeisances again and again and again. That is the beauty of paying obeisances. And in turn, what you call? In turn, it is also referring to one's actions. Means what? One remembers one constantly remembers the Lord. Man mana bhava. He becomes a devotee, worships the Lord. At the same time, namaskuru. It's all action. What does he do? The devotee is in action in the service of the Lord. Mamevashyasi yukta. In that way, when is absorbed, Atmana matparan. Surely he will come. That's the meaning of the law. Okay, please read it.
Sometimes unscrupulous commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here. That all devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body, his mind, and he himself are one and absolute.
So why Prabhupada is saying like that? Because there was one of the leaders, Prabhupada in initial days, he used to refer, because when he did not have any reference to the uh, books of Bhagavad Gita, so he used to take for the translation of this personality. So when he was taking translation, but in his purports, he used to write like that we should worship not Krishna, that which is within him. Sometimes. That's why Prabhupada is making that. Sometimes they say this kind of thing. So Prabhupada is just clarifying that point here, saying that no, there's no difference between Krishna and something within him. Everything is Krishna is one. It's nothing like that. So that's his body, mind, and himself is because he's absolute. Absolute doesn't have multiple things. He's one together. He's Sachidananda form. So that is making clear. And okay, he's just making clear that. Okay, please continue. Haribol, please continue.
Yes. There are some who are demonic of Krishna, but enviously, just like in Kamsa, Krishna's uncle.
Which I spoke. Okay.
He was also thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill him. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love. That is
That is
bhakti.
see. That
One
means the
should
attitude has to be proper. Okay.
One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from a bona fide teacher. Krishna is this.
What to learn from the bona fide teacher? Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. How to serve him? The Abhidheya aspect. Okay.
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we have several times explained that his body is not material, but but is eternal, blissful knowledge. This kind of talk about Krishna will help one become a devotee. Understanding Krishna otherwise from the wrong source will prove fruitless.
Fruitless. Yeah. Okay. I'll just end this. I'll read it. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primeval form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds and thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and devotional service is practiced there. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisances to Krishna. This is all coming with respect to next two lines. That is Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That's how you should expand yourself after paying obeisances also in the service of the Lord. That will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. So that's what he says. And this further, this thing actually, Prabhupada is just bringing it as an of 7th, 8th, and just summarizing all that. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of the most confidential knowledge. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So that's how we successfully complete our, after a long gap, 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. So next week we will start with our 10th. And so we are halfway through in Bhakti Yoga section. Congratulations to all of you. Hope and you, in between you got good, what you call, gaps also. So my humble request is hope you take revision of it and have a nice grip of the subject matter. Yeah, because see, there is a Shubhashita. I don't remember the exact wordings of Shubhashita. There is what you call, to have a 100% understanding of a subject matter. One thing we hear, then 25% is a strongly we grasp it. 25% one who does adhyayan, study of it, himself studies, contemplates of it. 25% is when he discusses with somebody, because in discussion there may be question answers with that person and all that, and that's how one gets. And 25% by the passage of time. Passage of time means once practices it, lives by it accordingly, then then things starts making sense. So even I remember in my practice early, many of them were dots in my life. Dot in the means, okay, this aspect I heard in Bhagavad Gita, that remained as a dot. I don't know what is the complete understanding of it, but theek hai, I heard this much statement, so that remained as a dot. That remained as a dot. So concepts remain as dots in the initial beginning many times. but still we understand. Okay, वो है. अब कैसे है, क्या है? I mean, I will not be able to digest or not able to understand. But over progresses and we are practicing these dots along with our practice as time passes, get started connecting. Oh, what was said in Gita, it makes sense. Oh, what is said in Gita, it makes sense. Oh, what our acharyas are speaking, what Prabhupada is saying, that's how it happens. So that was the last 25% or so of time. So that's how our understanding about the subject matter completely comes. It's not just once we hear, okay, I understood, done with it. No. It's understanding of the scripture is living by it also, as I said previously. So take to that process. Not only hear, understand it, read yourself, have questions, answers, discuss with somebody at the same time, practice nicely in your life so that you will understand the whole. To be frank with Apicheta Sudarashara, it took so long time for me to understand because multiple questions arise in that. Multiple questions. If this is so, that is so, that is so. It took so much time to understand what Krishna is really, he's really valuing that kind of thing. Okay. Let's stop here. Any questions, Prabhus? Oh, throughout the whole chapter or something they will ask. Those who have to leave, they can leave. It's already 8:16. Yeah. Aditya Tapal, okay. Aditya Tapal var. Okay, first I think Anil
Thank you.
Sahu Prabhu pinged it. Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Project, for a wonderful explanation actually. So actually this concept I'm also feeling like harder, but you explain very nicely, then it will coming out very understandable things that how this concept is working. Some doubts, Project, to understand this, I think required to read more from my side. You told like reading oneself and discussion and the passage of time it will take to understand these things. Like first verse told that Lord is not impartial, but still he have some inclination towards the devotee. It is
Not
looking
some,
like
he
partial
has,
only.
not some, he has incursion. That is his partiality. Yeah.
But
that's
that
very clear.
again confusion coming to partial, but still he's telling I'm partial. We give the example of king also, no? A king give the charity to everyone that, but they have special affection for the children. Means he's not considering all the prajas as his children. It is looking like partial
No.
only, no?
That is not
How to
understanding. You
understand this?
see, you have a natural, you are also conscious being, right? Right? So when you see, does a father may be equal to other children also, but does he has a special inclination towards his son or not? You tell me.
Then it is partial.
How
You're
it
not
is
considering
partiality,
everyone
Prabhu?
equal, right?
Is it
If
not
you
a
have a
quality
special
of,
thing,
no, is it not a quality? Would you tell that any father of any son, any father should be equal to all the children of all the fathers in this world? I'm just telling you. He's charitable and he's been equally disposed with others in terms of help, in terms of needs, in terms of everything. Is it not sufficient for him that he's impartial in that? Think about it. But his child is his child, right? Otherwise, then when people are not having children, why they are so much bothered? Can't they just pick up some other children and be happy? I'm just giving a small understanding. So you see, Lord is not partial in terms of, but somebody do not actually, if you see in that term, somebody don't want him. Still is happy. His basic needs are provided. In that sense, you see, is he partial in that sense? Now let us say that living entity only does not desire the Lord. Now, will he barge into? But somebody is desiring him. Shouldn't he reciprocate? Then he will become a stone. That's what I said. You see it from a quality point of view. He is not a stone. He is a conscious being and he is impartial in the sense, you see, he is providing the needs for every living entity. There is sufficient need for every living entity in this world to accept it, right? For everything, whatever his needs or his being. Has he stopped bhakti, choked that this is the qualification to come to bhakti? No, we find that he has opened for that. So so where has he stopped in his what you call impartiality, saying that you cannot come to bhakti? He has opened for all. What to speak of even some animals are taking to bhakti, he is giving mercy. In Lord Ram's pastime, the squirrel is doing small service. Still, the squirrel is glorified. See, that has to be seen as a quality. Why do you see as a partiality? But the living entity doesn't want the Lord. So still you want to show that the Lord should, no, you take bhakti only. Then it will be jabardasti, na? You are saying you are forcing him up. Getting?
look, my point is this, Project, like See, whenever someone
See,
giving
when
the
even
exam, so government
if
make
you,
the laws.
no.
So
When it
whoever
comes
write
to
the exam,
first you come to about your this parent also. It's very natural, na Prabhu. Somebody is charitable when you call. He doesn't say any difference. Would you call about his? Nobody will have any what do you call it, difficulty in saying that no, but he is partial to his children. Nobody says like that. He's equally disposed to everybody. And sometimes you find, sometimes when it comes to law and order, you find a judge has to give a judgment on his son also. He may give a same judgment what has been applied for everybody. That time he may not show that. You getting the point? So, but somebody is in nicely in devotional service. That's why I use the word impartially partial. He's impartial in the sense he's equal to all, even his devotees, everybody, when it comes to needs, when it comes to everything. But as a quality of partiality, but somebody's wants him, somebody's looking for him, exclusively wants him, and this thing. Well, he wants to also have a relationship with his devotees. Some living entities who are ready to accept him and come to him, his doors are wide open for everybody, ideally. But some of them want to come inside the door. Will he not reciprocate with them? Telling that no. He should only go out and everywhere. Why will he do? Then where will be the free will of the devotee? Then in his impartiality, he should do everything. He should take everybody in that. He doesn't do like that. Getting?
yes, Bhaji, understanding.
You see. So that's why I use the word. He is impartial. That's why he's saying first two lines. What is Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. Arjuna, I am equal to all. Is it not? You tell me, as a Paramatma in this world, he's not Prabhu, he's not impartial. Does any shortcomings for what do you call some living entity? All the shortcomings that we have in this world is because of the chaotic conditions created by these living entities in this world. Don't refer to that too as the Lord has created such situation. No. Lord is reciprocating of according to your bad desires that you are having. What to do as a Paramatma? He is accepting, he's sanctioning some of the desires. Because this is a place for your free will to exercise. Actually, he is impartial in that. Somebody is not worshipping him, still he is providing. You see, somebody is an atheist, still he is providing. So would you call it as there? Don't you call it then partiality, impartiality? He is impartial, no there. And somebody is coming to him. Somebody is coming to him. And has he opened his door only for his devotees, or has he opened his door for everybody? So in that sense, he is impartial or not? That you tell me first.
In that
He's
sense, it is impartial.
impartial. So after coming inside, he has a quality of partiality for his devotees. Is there anything wrong in that?
It is like based on situation, he became impartial and partial. No.
After coming, you see, my house is open for everybody. You don't want to come inside my home. What should I do? नहीं आप ऐसा कैसे? अरे जो घर में आएंगे तो उनका मैं ख्याल रखूंगा ना, उनका मैं आई विल ट्रीट देम, आई विल बिहेव विद देम, आई विल सर्व देम, आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ देम. Is it clear?
Yes,
That way, has to don't make him a stone. Stone means it will be impartial, whether somebody comes, doesn't come, or he's a conscious being. And to that effect, shall I tell you? He is impartial even to the demons in the sense he kills them and then takes them back home, back to Godhead. Or in the sense, kills them or sometimes beat them. Means he's like that father. He will, for them, the love is like, partiality is like, slap them and then bring them, make them right. If you want in that sense also. For devotees, he will, because they listen very nicely, he reciprocates. For the demons, he reciprocates in different way, but at the same time, he has that affection. Getting?
Yes.
Yeah. So do not, let's not, otherwise that verse is looking like that only. Yeah, but still
Yes.
he is saying that is, and that is his quality. That is his bhushan. That is not a fault. That's what that verse is telling. It is, the Acharya say that, don't see it as a fault of the Lord. It is an ornament of the. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Haribol. Yeah, Aditya Tapalwar Prabhu, I think you wanted to ask something.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for such wonderful classes. Prabhuji, one doubt is there, like that verse is there, as you mentioned that Apiche Sudrachar was difficult, but still, like when person, like when any devotee is there, and then how his fall down can be uh, not planned or accidental, because sometimes practically we get to hear many cases mention about it, but generally it should be premeditated only, na Broji. Matlab, he must have thought somewhere, or he must have got thought and he contemplated on that activity, and because of that only he may have caught in the act, okay, of let's say fall down, or kind of whatever thing we wanted to say, activity. So then how it can't be premeditated, or because if we don't think about it, or thought, if we have not thought about it, then it will not come only. Either it may be from previous life, or that is not the case, then how it will happen? Like, I'm not able to understand the difference.
I got you. I got you. You see, I got your question. See, when it accident, matlab, it's not a road accident. Suddenly it has happened. Surely that. But what has happened, you tell me, when I was saying, let us say through an association, he has started a wrong association. Now, is that has started his contamination and it is going towards that wrong thing or not? You tell me.
He is going, yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but he has not. You see, planning means what? When somebody is already, what do you call, making a thorough plan for how to do it. That is a different thing. Whereas somebody has fallen into a trap, and after going into the trap, all other things start coming to picture. You getting the point? You see that? Don't think accident.
Yes,
Matlab, suddenly he did something nonsense. ऐसा नहीं कहने का मतलब. You see, there will be some time slot, some this thing will be there, but there is a much more difference between overall planning for it and doing it. Somebody comes with that intention only in Krishna consciousness also. You know that many of them come with that intention, and they do, and it is very difficult to judge from this side. So that's why the judgment has to be taken more from the other side. What is that other side? Is he still wants to practice Krishna consciousness seriously or not? And the reason behind what all things have happened. Does his record shows, does he, because premeditated में क्या बार करना चाहेगा? Getting point? बार करना चाहिए. And in accident, what happened? Sorry, Prabhu. Actually, I didn't want it, but I think I did a wrong thing. I entered into it. I started in this thing, but it has gone into my system so much. I repeatedly did it. But now I understood the danger of it. And further part of my practice of bhakti, I will never want to do it. Never want to do it. Give me an opportunity. See, that will be seen later. Let us say he again repeats it. Oh, that means he's every time planning out, doesn't take some serious steps to do it. You getting the difference?
Yes, sir, you
Getting the difference. So that's why you should see from the other side how much he is strong enough to practice to Krishna consciousness. And from, as he said, from Vaishnava's side, we should always give opportunity. We should always give opportunity to that Vaishnavas. Yeah, too much repeated means we understand. Oh, is everything on the same kind of thing, same kind of. Then serious action has to be accordingly taken. Even in this, and it all depends upon what level. What level? Sometimes are very abominable. Sometimes are, but sometimes what I have seen is small down happened, but the punishment is given beyond what he deserves. There it is very, it is very much. Small fall down has happened. As a sadhaka, it will be, you see, a child when he's walking, sometimes he will fall, sometimes he will get up, sometimes, but once he gets strength in his legs, Prabhu, then he will walk, then he will run also. So yes, in initial stages of our practice of bhakti, we'll have tough time. Sometimes people have tough time even with practicing 4 regulative principles. But understanding the depth, understanding for a period of time, we become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. But nobody should be, what you call, a barred just because certain thing has happened. Yes, therefore, is it not in Vaishnava circle, even in voices, in other places, we find that there are difficulties, because nobody is a pure devotee in the path. So forgiveness has to be given. But when it becomes very serious things like defamation of society, defamation of many things, that has to be taken much more deeper considerations and this thing. Yeah, quite possible. So quite possible of. So yes, when I'm saying accident, not that like a car accident. Suddenly that happened because I was turning and it came, I didn't even thought of it. No. There will be surely some thought of it. Like somebody has, like his initially when he came to ISKCON, he was nicely serving. He acted in different departments and all that. But suddenly one big donation came. Previously also many donations came, but suddenly that big donation came, so he became little allured by it. And then he starts now how to put it and all that. Planning may be there a little bit. I'm not saying no, but that allured him, right? Later, when he saw the consequences of it and became. Similarly, with happens with association with women, let's say wrong, illegal relationship. Yeah, surely, like on first day only, okay, I want to have. No, it started. That was not his intention actually. Intention was not, but over a period of time, slowly, things happen slowly. But when he began, does what was that was his planning that I want to deal with his mother. No, that was not a plan. But over a period of time, when things come closer, the things may start later on. But later he understands the mistake and regret of it, and then refrains from it seriously. And then we see his life further. We see his life before. We see his life further. How does he is ready today? Doesn't he deserve forgiveness, and doesn't he deserve an opportunity? You tell me. Now, but the same person, after giving forgiveness, after Vaishnavas, you see, first chance to everybody has to be given. Na, Prabhu? It's very difficult. And I will say multiple chances. But let us say somebody is doing continuously. After some time, with somebody else is doing something wrong. With somebody else is doing something wrong. With somebody else, then it becomes serious. Okay, here he has been forgiven at one temple, let us say. He goes to another temple. There also he does. Then we find some warning is, Prabhu, this kind of Prabhu so and so looks in the garb of devotees, but he has done in this place also same thing. He in this place also same thing. Oh, that is serious thing. And there are both kind of cases. I'm telling, both kind of cases are there. There are sufficiently who has been doing repeatedly, not listening, not time, and unnecessary creating mess. And there are who has been just done somehow. It has been happened in their lives, and we find that I can show so many people who that, but they take it too strongly and they're practicing so strongly and with no other thing in their life. Whatever happened has happened because of some incident. Whatever happened has happened. And surely that incident happening means it will have some thought process. It will. I'm not literally going that it's not a road accident. I'm telling, where you just didn't see the truck can hit. I didn't knew. It was not my fault. Yeah, because in a road accident you may be thinking road accident. Prabhu, it was not his fault. He was driving only. That came and fault. It's not like that. Surely wrong association. So our samskaras are still there, na Prabhu. They get awakened, right? So obviously he will put some basic intelligence, basic thing. But overall he understands. In the net effect he understands. I have done a biggest wrong thing. Is it clear?
Yes,
And
Prabhuji.
in general,
Yes.
overall the mood of the Vaishnavas is to forgive and give them opportunity to practice devotion service. Surely we should not take away that opportunity. And what level, how much punishment to give, that depends upon the grade of the activities. Just don't, as a small activity, small mistake, don't give what you call big punishment. Befitting. That's why there has to be consultation by maturity.
Yes,
Senior
Prabhuji.
Vaishnavas, and it is not resolved, then we have to go to gurus, we have to go to GBC level to understand it overall. Why his mind went into that? Maybe his wrong samskar. So my understanding goes this far. Maybe some other scenarios can give a little more. That's what this my understanding.
Prabhuji, what you explained, that was really totally understandable. Just last point, can I ask one more question, or we should wind up?
Yeah. No.
Like Prabhuji, thank you. Prabhuji, like last thing you mentioned, no, about he must have got some sanskaras of previous thing or whatever. So, is there any really way to change our samskaras? Because mind is like, it is filled with thoughts and these that. Okay, so what is the way to really change our sanskaras? Because these are so strong things. So वो समझ में नहीं आता कि like how to and what should be doing that to change.
See, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 5.23 as per one. Shaknoti have a yasodu prak sharira. See, certain things pull of the mind and certain pushings and certain urges because we have a conditioned body and we have a pure soul. Pure soul has to understand its nature of practice of Krishna consciousness, right? And the conditionings will continue. So there in the verse, Krishna says, Shaknoti have a yasodu prak sharira. Means there are certain conditions of desires, lust has to be. One of the solutions is tolerated till the end of this body at least. Another is when it comes to this thing, see, if you can work rather than working at a later level, work at the level of thought. First of all, usually the actions and further things, our mind is crowded, usually the thoughts. First of all, if we can work at the level of working on thought, hey, my thought itself, my seed of thought itself is wrong, because the thought will grow into what? Slowly into, it will come to the further, it will become stronger. And you have already wrong samsaras from previous lives, let us say. Now, this thought is also coming. So it becomes very difficult. And we should work at the level of thought beginning. And then slowly that will come into the over a period of time character, over a period of time into our actions, over a period of time in our speech, and later our mind will be. Because the glory of the great souls, glory of the pure Vaishnavas is that their thoughts right from the root is Krishna conscious. Our thoughts are sometimes Krishna conscious, maximum times. Is it not, you tell me?
Yes.
Yeah. So if we can start working at the level of thought over a period of time, you will find that, immediately at that young age, there is so much attraction for the opposite sex. The thought comes. Now, am I ready to nip it at the bud? Oh, this is a wrong. Okay, let me not. Krishna, Krishna, it is not wrong. It is not. Okay, have a right height. Have a right kind of understanding. Right kind of thought has to be replaced by it. So if you start over a period of time, what happens? Now, this many wrong, 100 wrong thoughts are there, one right thought. Similarly, you are putting one by one, endeavoring to put that right thought, chanting the holy name, chanting this. Many multiple things you are endeavoring to do. Over a period of time, the right thoughts will become so natural for you, just like wrong thought is now so natural for you. That time, right thought is so natural for you. Is it clear? Whether right or wrong. Don't worry about that. This is one understanding at one level. Another understanding, because surely consciousness level, it is very difficult. Another one level is tolerated, but it doesn't stop there. Another level of working is at the level of thought. Another level of working is keep yourself busy in actions, and so that your mind doesn't have much space for further things to keep. And you can apply all combinations of these three. When time comes, I have to tolerate also. And when times comes, let me be patient. And when times, intensity in. One Gaurang Prabhu said one very nice the line which I remember. He says that absorption in sadhana, intensity in seva, and sensitive in Vaishnava relationships. This is very good for one's this thing. I repeat it. Absorption in one sadhana means when you're absorbed, you become absorbed in sadhana. There you don't go here and there. Absorption in one sadhana. When you're doing seva, intensity. Full, give your full energy in seva. And be sensitive in Vaishnava relationships when you're Vaishnava behavior. That is very good for one's intense practice of Krishna consciousness, and that will keep you, keep your thoughts, keep your goal, everything focused. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, just middle one, absorption in sadhana. Second was
intensity in seva.
In seva. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Done. Third one is already. Yes.
And sensitivity in Vaishnava behavior, because we are dealing with Vaishnavas and they are sensitive. Everybody sensitivity is behavioral. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. I will surely apply this.
And all these things, time to time, you may have to speak one's counselor, because see, I'm giving a general principle and this thing. At an individual level, what is the depth of that which one is undergoing? It all depends. So that has to be taken at an individual counseling level system, where you try to understand this is the actual problem. So what is the solution? Because sometimes solution vary from one kind of conditioning or one kind of this thing. Some condition will take more time to come out. So you see, in following three regulatory principles is anybody follows. And somebody will say, "Arey, तुम पहले से ही follow कर रहा था." Fourth one becomes very difficult. Even after practice so many years, becomes very difficult. And it's challenge for many. Getting the point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And just I had distaste for the three, that same distaste has to come for the fourth ones.
Difficult.
Difficult. Simple. Radheshampu says one nice, I remember he saying that. The reason for that is simple. All other lifetimes in other bodies, one has not done what you call. Surely there was no smoking, no gambling, but this thing was there. So that's why it is deeply rooted, whereas other three things become easy. Because I don't know, you don't find animals smoking or something. No intoxication, no gambling,
Yeah.
no this thing, illicit or illicit, but still that has strong. And anyway, the scriptures also say that article Maithuna Agar is the strongest one. So one of the ways is to tolerate. Another way is then give it a religious way. This is Grahastha ashram nicely. Then keep your mind cool. Understand one's nature. I cannot. Okay, then do it. And it has Krishna has not barred it, right? Sex life is never barred, but at the same time, it has to be given a right kind of this thing for the elevation of one's what you call consciousness and overall ground for spiritual practice. You can give it the nice shape. The other three don't have any other shape, whereas this is given a nice shape. Then why to meddle with it and why to unnecessarily trouble oneself? Understand one's nature and give pay weight and live. There are wonderful examples of grahasthas in our life, in our society, even in Pune. Their children are so wonderful practitioners of Krishna consciousness. So what less is there? Getting?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Anything more?
It was
That's what
too
I have from
helpful.
my
Prabhuji.
side.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Anil Sahapu, you had something more to add?
Yes, time is here, na Pooja?
Yeah, I am there because I am supposed to
So
serve all
actually,
of you till the time because this chapter is ending. So I am supposed to serve. Even you are there, I am there. I will can
extending you.
best.
Pooja, actually, two questions are there. One is from yesterday class, one is from today class. I will ask first today class question. See, we see in the fourth chapter also, no, Pooja, that when Krishna is giving some philosophy, he giving some examples also. He gives the example of Janak Maharaj and those things. But here we see, Pooja, he directly told the Pap Yoni and then directly compare with the Striya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So I
He's
just
not
want to,
comparing, Prabhu. He's not comparing. He's giving that gradation. Yes.
that I'm asking because whenever we speak something, we have in thought in our mind that we are Papi only we are telling, we can tell to others also. But he directly told with the Striyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra, and then go to the other categories. So, Krishna, why this understanding is that because in Striya, so many varieties are come. They are also soul, and Vaishya are also soul. Shudras also have soul. Outside bodily features may be different. So Krishna telling based on some bodily features or Krishna telling based on some particular examples in that
No,
cases?
Prabhu. He's telling, you see, he's telling from the point of view Papa. You see, even in Varnashrama system, if you see Brahmana, Kshatriyas, Vaidya, Shudras, and there is lower categories. So he's first telling, if I give shelter to these people, they are qualified. Then he's coming to higher category, if you see. Yeah, in that, Striya is also his category because they are more bodily conscious, I said, and they have an what do you call this aspect. So he's coming slowly, and then in the next verse he says about what to speak of Rishayas and Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So he's going actually in that gradation. And what to speak of my devotees in that sense. So he's just going in a gradation. There is nothing specifically he's been talking about there. Whether he's considering body, what Krishna is considering at that time, I cannot tell. That is of sure. But what he's speaking, that is very clear. And what our acharyas explained, that much I can say. They are very clearly saying with lower Papa Yonaya, then all these Shudras, what do you call our Striyas, Shudra, Tatha Vaishyas, and all those things, they are also mentioned. Of course, you can even include Dvija Bandhus also in this. It's like stretchable little bit. You can Dvija Bandhus means those who are not qualified for their ashram, they become. So you can include in that. And then he's bringing, actually he's just bringing a gradation. That's what I can say. So
Which
whether
means
he's
Striya coming first, then Vaishyas, then Shudras, like a gradation.
no, the point is all these three have some fault. A Vaishya has a fault of speaking lies. Shudra has more bodily consumption and that is thing. Woman in general has that. That's why, woman body when compared to men and woman body is more what you call bodily conscious when compared to men. But however, if here Krishna is telling in that context, we have to see. Now, if you apply into deeper, then it has different meanings, right? If you go deeper, prove what woman is Krishna. He's taking general woman. You should take it general woman. If you call, because if you speak about a woman who's like a Vaishnavi Mataji, oh, she's much more. And sometimes a Brahmana, if you can speak, you can play in the variation in that many things. You can say then Prabhu, some Brahmanas are not knowing Krishna and all, but it doesn't apply for them. But he is talking in general. In general, if you take women are generally on. conscious, bodily more conscious. Yes, but woman has an advantage also. Men are more rational, but when it comes to, because woman is more emotional and this thing, if the subject matter of, when it comes to emotional part, men are more rational, women are more emotional. And that emotional parts get them very quickly attached to Krishna. And men does not. There is an advantage and disadvantage. But is that the subject matter here? No, that is the point. It's not talking about it. Woman has its own advantage because you find many of the satsang programs, many of the women they are easily get this thing attracted to the right thing if Krishna is this thing. But because of the emotion, there is another problem. What do you call? If some wrong thing is also, they get attracted to that also. Now, but are we referring to all that in this context? No, we are not referring to. So many things can be talked, but that is not the context Krishna is talking about. He just, if you see what is, that's why, first of all, you see what is the section talking about and whether it is addressing that theme or not. That has to be seen. What is the theme talking? The glories of bhakti has been shown here. And the glories of bhakti is so much glory that it will, if somebody shelter takes of lower category, somebody of that category, somebody of Brahman, and what to speak of devotee if he does small mistake? Do you think? No. I take it. So that is the theme there, the glory of bhakti. That we have to see. We don't have to, you see, in a subject matter, there can be so many concepts. But what is the concept address at this point, at this place, has to be seen. Not that you start applying every concept of woman there. Prabhupada said, a woman's mind is small, a man is more. All that things you can keep on. I don't know. Then you can keep on. You are moving away from the theme what Krishna is talking in that theme of line. So we should हमेशा वो theme, वो verses का theme क्या thread चल रहा है उसको लेके चलना चाहिए. You getting the point?
My point of concept was to ask this question that because based on the category we can consider them, they can how much easily they can come to the bhakti. For example, here giving uh, pap yoni, so pap yoni take more time to come into the bhakti, or like ishtiyas
No time प्रभु. पाप योनि के लिए ये टाइमिंग का कुछ नहीं रहता है. भक्ति के लिए कोई कभी लॉर्ड की मर्जी रहा तो कोई कभी भी आ सकता है ना. उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? I never put any timeline of saying that. Okay, in that case, so only Brahmanas are more qualified, na? If they come to bhakti, they will be first. ऐसा नहीं है ना? Is there
easily
anything
they can come.
limitation in bhakti? Have you ever heard like that? How did Prabhupada make devotees of the foreign that Indians could not take? So those were already pure, qualified, more purified, more this thing, Brahmana category. That is the power of bhakti, na? That is the nature of bhakti, na? So how do you say that somebody has apichita sudaracharu and he is not qualified? Krishna is telling he is considered sadhu only.
But this
Here
will be
only
optional
consideration
also.
is a papa yoni person can also take to bhakti, can come above. What to speak of woman? What to speak of other? He's just giving the gradation. अरे इनके पास कहने का मतलब क्या है? अरे ब्राह्मणों का और राज ऋषियों का क्या कहना? उनके तो सहज है. That is the meaning. And it is much more easy for them. Even these people can come. How much more it is easy for them? It is like that. It is like that.
Okay.
But anybody, let us say somebody is from lower caste, he takes very seriously. Can't he come? You tell me. But in general gradation from sinful life, Krishna is saying that, अरे ये इनका पापी होने के बाद ये लोग आ सकते हैं और इनके ऊपर थोड़ा कम पाप वाले ये लोग आ सकते हैं, तो ब्राह्मण और क्षत्रिय का तो क्या कहना और उसमें मेरे भक्तों का क्या कहना. और उस भक्त में से किसी ने कुछ कर दिया तो इतना बोले नहीं, वो शुद्ध हो जाएगा क्योंकि उसको मेरे भक्ति करने की क्या कहते हैं बहुत तीव्र इच्छा है. He is determined. He feels repented for it. That is how the flow is going.
Okay. Well, actually, I am asking this question based on the pitching concept question. Like Raishampu told many times that better you can approach those people who are more easily can come. So like Brahmana can easily can come, and this they already have the sanskaras of those things. They can easily come compared to the like Papyoni and the.
Prabhu, as a strategy, I'm telling you, as a strategy, you can do so.
That
But
is I'm
when it
asking this
comes to
question.
pure devotional bhakti, you cannot put a limit for it.
That is there.
Otherwise, then you have to put. Why did Prabhupada teach to the hippies? Then he would have first taught to the college student.
Yeah.
See, Radheshyam when he's saying it, yes, you see, na, you know, na, this land is more fertile. So it is natural, na, when the land is more fertile, you would like to irrigate that land easier when it is coming, and then later think about the land where is irrigation. So usko kaisa karna hai? Are you getting the point or not? That is a preaching.
Yes,
That is nowhere related. I mean, that is a preaching strategy, Prabhu. Now there are devotees who are preaching in different. So everybody, and Radheshyam Prabhu is going with a particular strategy on particular thing. He is having a youth preaching strategy and this thing out there. But there are many other devotees who hang strategy of village preaching. And if you talk, then they have their understanding about how to preach. So these are different various means and strategies of preaching. And but at the no point you cannot say that what do you call, only these people can take more bhakti, others cannot take. ऐसा नहीं होता. ऐसा नहीं होता. It's a strategy for your this thing. That has to be very clear.
Understood.
For bhakti, you cannot put a limitation. Oh, this is and then Prabhupada's, then what do you speak about Prabhupada then? He gave to them. To whom he gives? Hippies who are not even fit. They were as good as Chandal as we can. I mean, out of Varnashrama or anywhere out of Varnashrama in that countries. On top of that, so that is a right example of what Prabhupada, you see, he showed that Papa Yonaya, even from that, he could bring it out. Because they are surely Papa Yonaya in one sense, because they are out of Varnashrama system. But Prabhupada's association can give it. So other things currently, because of all this, these are strategies. Strategies, yes. Strategies what? This category has more. It is very almost fertile land. If you give them right, this thing, they may grow and they can Radheshyam Prabhu's these are the people who can become leaders in the society. Tomorrow they can bring much more bigger change and all those things. But that does not mean that I'm sure Radheshyam Prabhu doesn't have, he surely appreciates somebody other strategy in their own field. And he's going with a particular service. That's what I understand. Clear?
Yes, basically. Okay.
Anything more? Shall we?
Another question I can ask first. So yesterday, was you giving example, na, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toham. So I just want to understanding that point, that this onion garlic also coming under the in this only, or it will come outside this.
Yeah, but what do you think?
Actually, this is also root, I think, whatever I had that. So this
No,
also should
Prabhu,
become under the
even in
roots.
vegetables, still there are vegetables in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, right? If you go into the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you will hear there. Foods are also in different modes. Then accordingly, the which one to be cooked, which one to be. Then why there is a gradation of what to be cooked, what not to be cooked, right? Yeah, nothing wrong. It's a vegetable, but it has a grade whether it can be offered or not. If you go to Jagannath Puri, they don't even offer aloo. They don't even offer carrot. Then, but that's where we take it.
Okay.
Getting the point. Again, there is gradation in that, and again we have to see what does the scripture say. What can be offered, what cannot be offered. That also we should see now. Just because everything is what you call vegetable only, can be. No, Krishna has be done what to. Even in the vegetables, and there are certain fruits we don't offer. Even in the flowers, we find that we don't offer all flowers to the Lord. There is, as a flower has a particular. So everywhere again there is, Prabhu, there is gradation, which is acceptable, which is not acceptable. That we have to understand. Regarding food, if you are specifically asking on no, it's not, because the passion generating, their mode of ignorance, simple, and that you find on three kinds of foods are given in 17th chapter, and 17th chapter, I think 8, 9, 10. Okay, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Yeah.
Thank you.
Should stop here or any more things?
Look, you can give a small answer also. It is okay, Pooja. Like I just want to know this Striya Vaishya Sudha also have some gradation in there.
Vaishyas are different division of what you call this thing, no? Social.
Krishna take the all
Brahmana
three name in
Kshatriya.
one shot only. So I want to know this in a category base or he take in the just
See,
general
they are
base.
talking from point of view, they have dosha. That is the only line here. They have doshas. That's it.
Dosha in category base, no? Like this three have more dosha or Vaishya have more dosha. Like this he take or
At least
just
that
general?
explanation is not given by Acharyas. They have doshas.
Achha,
Now,
that's-
whether you put them here, if you put Vaishya also, his dosha will not going to change. Bro. His dosha will be lying. Whether you put woman, it's not that he has put here that she is more, he has not put that. And it depends again, woman, which woman you are talking about. Again, I can go to a debate and discussion
No,
with you.
that is
Are you,
different.
no, I'm just telling. I asked it a Brahmana's wife, well, whether she will be so much. Again, I'm telling. There is a dosha. Dosha of more bodily concept, dosha of basically actually impurity. So body is not meant that for self-realization when compared to men. That's why her support is more to serve the husband or the dharma. And even if you change that, their doshas is not going to, their fault is not going to change, right? Like, don't go into the hair splitting analysis. You'll be bewildered. That's why I always say that. See the theme, whether Krishna is completing that theme, that is sufficient. Wherever hair splitting analysis is there now, our acharyas will give sufficient hair splitting analysis. ये इसमें ये इधर क्यों बोला है? One time you remember? Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu. Why Jignasu is Artho, Jignasu, Artharthi? Why Jignasu is kept in between? Again, there we never thought, but acharyas are given. Why it is kept means because there is hope, chance. There is a deeper meaning given to it. Wherever it is required, it is given. I use the word tu. Now, tu is a simple word you might have heard in many verses in God. But here the acharya state, this tu has but, because Krishna is putting a clause. So that's why that tu carries weight. So wherever weight is required, our acharya said. So we carry the word there, eva. Wherever weight is required, there it is. So many other places, eva word is also used. No, not that. Wherever it is required, our acharyas tell it is required. This is carrying weight. So that's why we also speak it. It's not that we start analyzing on everything hair splitting karoge, then it becomes too much of our own understanding. Kya kyun? You do it, nothing wrong. But at the same time, how do you reconcile it? We have to reconcile what Prabhupada is saying, what our Acharya is saying. That's how you can reconcile. नहीं तो अपने दिमाग में भी मैंने तो वो then we start applying our own concepts also. If you start applying your own understanding, your own concepts, it becomes very difficult. That's how not the scripture is understood. It has to be understood what is the context being spoken, what was previously spoken, what is later spoken, what is the theme going on now. And what is the mata of acharyas? Some acharyas don't know. No, this verse is very clear. Now we start to there is unnecessary speculation. Let's not do. Prabhupada that is take so much of analysis upon this Shriya Vaishya. No, even he says lower births. But there he doesn't call it as Papa Yoni. If you clearly see. So sufficient information is there. If you can grasp it, then over a period of time, it helps us to grow in depth. Is it getting?
Yes,
So
Prabhuji.
whenever you want to go depth, your doubt can be valid, no doubt about it. But at the same time, whether some meaning is given to that or it has to be seen, checked, cross-checked. Okay? Because don't go into every hair splitting on everything. Then I can also ask you 10 questions like that. It doesn't make.
Yeah.
So that's why always flow, always remember. Theme क्या है? वो theme cover हो रहा है कि नहीं पहले वो देखो. That has to be understood. Yeah, Krishna is talking about that theme and this is clear. That is clear. तो उसमें कभी-कभी थोड़ी चीजों में उतना ही दिया रहता है, उतने की अंडरस्टैंडिंग दी रहती है. डीपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं बोला है. उधर माता जी के बारे में डीपली नहीं बोला गया, इतना ही बोला गया. And to be frank, Krishna, they have some dosha. He didn't even tell about women. He just tell they have a dosha of lying. Like that. One line is given, but we understand. Is it clear?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Anything
Thank you,
more?
Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
I don't know, there are some chart.
Thank you.
It means that he's not considering others as his children. Oh, there's you only, Pondika. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.